So karma came up a lot in conversations as I was doing this work with different teachers. We talked about your karma, how your karma is affecting your life, and I really studied it. We went over it a lot. It was a big part of the work that we did. So I wanted to understand what my karma really was. So your karma, I'm going to give you a definition that's a little different based on the work that we did, which was your karma is really the blueprint for the emotional work you're here to do in this lifetime. So it's really a blueprint for what it is that you came to work on emotionally in this particular lifetime. So people say, well, Joe, I'm having issues with my health, I'm having issues with money, I'm having issues with my relationships, I'm having all these problems. You're telling me that that's what I came to do? And the answer is yes. Now the problem with that for us, because how many of you are very sensible? That's dead. See, that's no good. The reason it's no good is because when you're sensible, you want things to make sense. You want everything to fit into the little square box and the little square peg. But does life make sense? So this is what it's all about. So people say, you mean to tell me that that young girl came to this planet so she could be physically abused and raped by her father? I say yes. Now, did she consciously say that's what I want? But in her energy, in her karmic energy, she came to feel the feeling and have the experience. So I want you to think of your life now in this way and say, my life is not about what I'm doing. What you're doing is helping you deal with the emotions, but you're really here to have an emotional experience. And we get caught up in all the other nonsense, and we get caught up in all the other stuff that we're doing, but we don't realize that I'm really here to have this emotional ride. And that's what it's all about. But we get very caught up in everything else. And one of the things that happens for us is, we get caught up in egoic issues, we get caught up in being right. How many of you want to be right? How many of you want to be wrong? Right? No, of course you want to be right. Everybody wants to be right. Although, let me tell you why I'm right. Let me tell you what's going on. Let me tell you why I'm right. See, this is a big part of your ego. This is a big part of what blocks you from going forward. So we have to start stripping all this stuff out, getting down to your core self, getting down to who you really are, and understanding that karmically, you're here on an emotional mission. So here's what I want you to imagine. Imagine before you came into third dimensional world, you decided that I'm going to make a list of all the feelings I want to have. I want to have health problems. I want to have financial problems. I want to struggle with my relationships. I want to get physically abused. I want to get beat up. I want someone to steal all my money. I want to lose. Now you would say, what the hell are you talking about? But that's what you came to experience.